It's time. I think we are live. Are we live? I think so. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. ZEBRE versus Bulls tonight. We are in Europe. Well, I'm not in Europe. I wish I was in Europe. But the Bulls are in Europe. The Lions are in Europe. The Stormers are in Europe. The Sharks are in Europe. Everybody's in Europe. Which I suppose actually, maybe not be the best place to be right now. But yes, at least they're in the right parts of Europe, I suppose. But tonight we are got ZEBRE taking on the Bulls in Parma in Italy, and then after this we move off to Ireland where the Lions are taking on Leinster. And I just, I just don't think it's going to go well, if we're being very honest. But I suppose you never know. You never know. Miracles could happen. It's not expected. It's not likely, nor is it really possible. But you know what? What's the worst that can happen? Apart from probably the 15-0 drubbing that's incoming. But apart from that, it should be good fun. But yes, so tonight, first of all, we've got ZEBRE taking on the Bulls. And you do expect the Bulls to do the business, don't you? Because I think it's a very strong Bulls side. It's a ZEBRE side, missing quite a few internationals, quite a few people through injury. They do have home ground advantage, though, so there's always that sort of aspect to it. However, yeah, I just think that the Bulls are too strong and playing too well at the moment to sort of be able to buckle, basically, which I think is the reality. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. So if the Bulls are going to if the Lions have got a chance against Leicester, which they don't, but I like to think they do, then why can't ZEBRE have a chance against the Bulls? Hey. Yes, we'll go through the teams a little bit. We still got 7 minutes until kickoff. So let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. And yeah, how was the week? How was the week, people? Let me just sort this out. Away with you there and minimize. No, not you. Oh, that could be why, That could be why. Give me 2 seconds here, people. I just want to sort out our number of subscribers, which is becoming a pain in my ass right at the moment. There we go. And work. Hopefully that does work. But yeah, how are we feeling about this? Vic says, happy that the Lions brought to my favorite halfback combo for tonight. Agreed. I think that should be quite a lot of fun to be able to watch. Jasper Toy's going, maybe. I don't know what the maybes are at the moment, but they're definitely, for me, not the... Why does it keep doing that? I don't understand why it keeps doing that. Driving me up the wall. Not off to a good start here, people. We're not off to a good start. How was the week, though? How was the last couple of days? Are we excited for tonight? What are we thinking? Is it going to be a big scoreline? Do we think it's going to be a bit closer than we maybe thought originally? Where are we at? As Troy says, Bulls must win. I'm a fan of the Bulls. I have a shirt with Bulls. Well, can't say I've ever owned a Bull shirt, but yeah, each their own, If you want to support that bloody franchise from the other side of the URC, which has unfortunately had a lot of success, then by all means, the better shirt should have is the nice red one from. In fact, I might actually even get the Lion shirt out. If you're going to lose, might as well wear the heart on the chest and get the good old shirt out later. Just sorting out a few things for later. We've got to get some scoreboards ready. We've got to make sure that we are ready to go. And I'm looking for, where is the Lions logo? But how cool is it? How cool is it that we're back and playing against teams that we don't often watch? I think that's probably the biggest reason to be excited for tonight. Regardless of the scoreline, regardless of the performances, we are back to the URC that we were hoping to get. You know, the URC where we get to take on teams from around the world, where we get to travel, where we get to then welcome these teams come back here. You know, it's what we kind of signed up for. And we haven't really gotten it so far. So it's good to see that we will get some of it to a certain extent. Vic says the week's been okay. A couple of wars, nothing too hectic. Yeah, no, it's been a bit of a disaster week for the world, but hopefully this will be a bit of a time for us to just sort of, I'll just put that to the side a little bit and to just try and enjoy a bit of normality. Ah, shit, I'm on the wrong channel. I shall return. I have to go sort this out. Where's my remote? Give me 2 seconds. I shall be back. All right, that's a little bit better. Yeah, we're now on the right channel, which always helps. Difficult to do a watch along when you can't even watch the game itself. So we're on the right channel. We're going to go through the two teams in a moment. Let me just get my statistics out. Darling, where we at? Fixtures. Zebra versus Bulls. Here we are, round 10 of the URC, which is weird because we've actually already had round 12. But yes, we all know why that is the case. And let's have a look at the team. So for the Bulls, we've got Gerard Steenekamp, Johan Grobbelaar, Jacques van Nooyen, Walt Steenkamp, Ruan Nokia, Marcel Coetzee, captains aside, Arne Butt and Albert Lowe. It's a very good pack. It's a very good front row. It's two youngsters really sort of coming through and making their names known, as well as the experienced Jacques van Nooyen. It's two very promising locks in Walt Steenkamp and Ruan Nokia. And then it's really what is a world-class loose trio, Marcel Coetzee, Arne Butt, and Albert Lowe, who despite being the youngest of the three, is in many ways the man who's been the most consistent. And you think on Ambrose Pierre with Chris Smith, I think Ambrose Pierre is starting to look a little bit like the player that we saw when he was making box squads. I think he is looking back to his best, had a lot of injury issues, but is looking fit. Chris Smith, for me, is too inconsistent at the moment. He's a frustrating player to watch because on his day, he's a fantastic player to watch and really enjoyable. We just don't see that day enough, which is what's quite frustrating. Madosh Tamwe, Cornel Hendricks, the two wings, Harold Forster, Daniel Pooh form a line centre combination at centre, and then you've got Kirkley Orenser, who's starting at full back. On the bench for the men in blue, Bismarck Duplessis, World Cup winner, Superior Munton-Zima, Robert Hunt, Janko Swanepoel, WJ Steenkamp, Keegan Johannes, Johan Mostert, and Kanan Moody, very young backline replacements. Keegan Johannes, Johan Mostert, Kanan Moody, all very experienced, very exciting players. For the Italians, it's Paolo Bonfigolo, Oliveira Fabiani, Eduardo Bello, then you've got Potu, Liavosa, Liam Mitchell, Maxime Banda, Jacopo Bianchi, Giovanni Lecciata, Marcelo Violi, Antonio Rizzi, Asiela Tuvaka, Tim O'Malley, Erich Gundner, the former Pumas centre, Jacobo Tralla, Leofi, Junior Lofi, and then off the bench, Luca Bigi with all that experience, Daniela Rimpelli, Leon Nicolai, Gabriele Vendetti, Luca Adriane, Guglielmo Palazzani, Enrico Licin, and Guido Besegni. So it's not a Zebra side that you would actually really recognise because of the amount of players missing either through injury or through on international duty. But hopefully a couple of players who are out there and want to try and sort of leave a mark. And Yeah, I think something. I mean, you look at the captain of Vera Fabiani. I think he's very much a heart and sleeve type player. He'll leave everything out there tonight. From a South African perspective, interesting to see how Eric Grenier is going to go along. He's up against Lionel Pooh. They obviously played a lot of rugby against each other through various ranks. And I always like enjoying watching, halfback combinations. Someone like Antonio Rizzi, 24 years old. Interesting to see how he fares. But yeah, they've run out very quickly and they're all ready to go. And there is kickoff. So Rizzi gets his back underway. Zebre playing left to right, and it's an early touch for Albert Lowe, who's still going. Managed to get through 2 tackles. That's a very good first carry from the Bulls number 8. And Bruce Pierre will now bring up the box kick. Can't go into touch because they have lost the safety of the 22. That's an early touch there. Not a particularly good one from the fullback, Leofi, as they lose possession. Now the Bulls trying to run their hands at Chris Smith, going to Albert Lowe. Good pick up there from Lionel Pooh, goes to Corner Hendricks. Not a great pass slightly behind him. Corner Hendricks measures up a defender and then runs, and he eventually gets brought down by Eric Grenier. First contribution from the South African centre. Now Geo Steenekamp and Bruce Pierre bringing in a couple of players to play. But the ball's been ripped in the tackle there. Now Zebre have got a chance to try and counter. Mbanda with a decent carry there. Now Trilla just carrying it inside. Once again, it's lost forward. And they get lost forward again. This time, not enough time between the 2 knock-ons. In fact, it's a penalty, I think. 2 knock-ons are there. Had a bit of a straight arm. So we will have our first scrum of the day. But messy first opening minute. A couple of knock-ons there from both sides. So possession not being retained particularly well. Like says, a lot of SA joining Six Nation articles and playing our feet again. Yeah, look, I think right now, the further we get away from you, the better. Upa says, Bulls 26, ZEBRE 14. Welsh referee, how good was it waking up, checking the cricket score? Yeah, I mean, I watched the first session last night. You could just tell we were in for a decent day. Who do you think will win? I think it's got to be the Bulls. I'd be very surprised if ZEBRE managed to withstand a bit of a Bulls onslaught. But you never know. First scrum is going down and we will have a reset. So after the reset, Bulls love to attack from the scrum. It's one of their big. I mean, they're a set piece side. They've always been a set piece side. The Bulls, that's how they run as a union for years and years. So another reset over here, but if they can get this right, it's a facet of the game that they definitely look to use very effectively. Free kicks and penalties, this doesn't happen. So a bit of a telling off there from the referee. I think, again, it's important to get this right first up, because if you don't, then the scrums can just become a bit of a menace. You don't want scrums to become a menace. You want scrums to be nice and solid. You want them to be organized, and you want them to be effective. That's a better scrum there from the Bulls. Rospi under a bit of pressure. They're giving it to Chris Smith, who then sees a bit of space in behind. It's a nicely placed kick there. But there's a penalty advantage there, so they will go back for the penalty. Very kickable penalty as well for the Bulls. So this will be an interesting decision now, because do they go for the points? Or are they really... I mean, this will show their intention. Have they come here just to get a victory, or have they come here to get a bonus point? And... yeah, you see, immediately they're going to kick for the corner. It was definitely very kickable, but they've already decided that it will be a to go for the line, to go for the 7-pointer, try and get one of those 4 tries. So Chris Smith has found a decent touch find as well. He's put them on the 5-meter line as Johan Krabbelar arrives to take the first line of the day. You got a Ruanok here. It's a very nice take. It's a very big shove early on there from ZEBRE. Bulls trying to sort of just set themselves. A couple of players falling over, but they do get the smaller step. But Johan Krabbelar has gone down with the ball, and Bruce Pierre using it. Yeah, I mean, Poo has lost it forward in the contact, so it's a knock-on advantage, and it will be a scrum. That's actually very well handled there by ZEBRE. Poo just didn't look like the move, whatever the move was, had quite come off. Found himself skipping quite a lot to the side, and then when he tried to straighten and go into contact, losing the ball in it. So it's well defended initially by ZEBRE, and they'll be wanting more of that. Just my time there. So a ZEBRE scrum on the 5-meter line, about 20 meters in field. Right, let's hope for a bit of a better scrum than we had initially. Gone straight down, and it's short arm or free kick, short arm penalty, depending on what you know with, to ZEBRE actually. So that's actually very well defended. They managed to force a knock on off the back of the line out, and then they're winning a free kick off the scrum. So Grizzlies will have an opportunity now to kick downfield. They won't have the feed to the line because it is just a free kick, but they will be able to get themselves into a better part of the field because they don't want to be spending a lot of time in the inside their own, or deep inside their own half rather. Right, Jan Krobler once again for the line-out. Ruan Nokia should be the target. They go to Albert Lowe, who goes straight down to Ambrose Pierre, goes to Chris Smith. Quite flat. Oh, and the offload. That's another knock-on from Lionel Pooh. Harold Forster trying to get the quick offload off. Vuavaka taking it into contact there. It's available. And Rizzi decides to go to the boot. Very much playing a territory game here. Chris Smith is back on the... Puts in an up and under for Curtly Aronson to chase. It's swirling around there. It's a very nice taking out the ground. Now ZEBRE trying to attack. Oh, it's a bit of a loose pass there, and Tuivaka has to clean up once again. Nice and physical. They managed to keep the ball here to ZEBRE on their 5-meter line on the left-hand side of the park. Violi almost caught in the ball there. Gives it away to his fly half. As Rizzi dabs it over the top. Sees lots of bit of space, but it's well read by Chris Smith, who goes inside to Ambrose Pierre. He goes to the boot. Now trying to attack down the right-hand side here. It's a good tackle by Madosh Tamwe as he manages to tie up Truller. Oh, it's almost a very nice line run. But the knock-on comes now. Curtly Aronson looking to counter-attack. Shifts it across to Albert Lowe. Albert Lowe to Nana Pooh. Steps inside of Tuivaki. Curtly Aronson goes back into touch. Sorry, it's touch. He goes to ground. It's been a long day. There we go. First carry of the day. I think that's from... Is that Marcel Coetzee, first carry of the day? No, it's Chaos Denikov, I think. Now Chris Smith going up to Harold Forster. Harold Forster spotting a bit of space. Puts the kick in behind, but it's well read by the fullback, Leolofi, who then finds touch on the full. That's a bit of a mistake from him. And all of a sudden, it'll be a Bulls line back inside ZEBRE territory. Ball's going to Ruan Nokia once again. Ambrose Pierre going to Chris Smith. Chris Smith pretty flat to Harold Forster. This time the ball goes to Lama Pooh's burst through the gap. Grizzlies managed to knock it down, but Madosh Tamwe is there. Madosh Tamwe is over. Well, it was a great line. Initially almost ran out of space there before we managed to get it down. It was a great line originally run by Lama Pooh. They tried to do it early, but he knocked it on. This time managed to hold on. He saw the space out wide, tried to put it in the pass, but Rizzi did well to knock the ball down. But Madosh Tamwe was working hard, managed to spring. And by the time he collected, look up, he saw a lot of space, and you don't need to give this guy too much space for him to punish you. And punish them is exactly what he did. That's good handling there as well from Madosh Tambwe. So not the most difficult kick that Chris Smith will have to slot here. It's just towards the right hand side. Oh, we're having a TMO check. He's off to the screen, yeah. I'm not quite sure what he's going to have a look at, but he's off to the screen. What are we seeing here? Oh, that's a good spot. That's a very good spot. This is going to be chalked off, by the way. So the charge down from Rizzy came, and then it bounces back off the hands of Lionel Mapu. So that's actually a fantastic intervention. I was about to say that, we really don't need to be seeing interventions this often, but that's a very good call, because that's not a try, actually. And I suppose, it's difficult because it's so easy to sit there saying we can't check everything, but that is a clear non-try. And, therefore it shouldn't stand, and it won't stand. So it's a knock-on, so it will be a scrum for ZEBRE on the 22, so we can chalk off that try. Sean Faust says ZEBRE win. I would laugh. Curtis had a chat and peace of love to all. Yeah, I think ZEBRE, we've got to win it. They've got everything they need to be winning it. So, Bulls. So yeah, we would be a very big surprise if ZEBRE were to win. But as I said, stranger things have happened. I believe if ZEBRE can win, then there's no reason why the Lions can't win later against Leinster. So that's why I'm pretty much rooting for ZEBRE, because it's just the night. It's a night for the underdogs, isn't it? At the end of the day. That's a much better scrum from ZEBRE as well. He's starting to grow into the game a little bit. Now they need a decent clearance. Kurt Lawrence brings it back inside. It was a decent clearance there. Madosh Tambwe, thinking about his options, now decides to run. Ball over the top to Lionel Mapu. Solid tackle there by Lulofi. Big counter ruck coming in from ZEBRE, but Bulls do manage to retain possession. Now Marcel Gutsia with his first carry of the day. Now Ambrose Pierre goes to the boot, lifts it high. Who wants it? Who wants it? That's a fantastic take out the air. Really good work there by Lulofi. Now back to the pocket is Rizzy. Goes down the centre of the park. Oh, that's going to run too far. It's going to run far too far. It's a horrible bounce. And this will suddenly be a scrum all the way back inside ZEBRE territory from where Rizzy kicked it. Pity, because ZEBRE started to go into the game, actually. A couple of nice moments there. Right, so another scrum. It looked like a much more solid scrum there from ZEBRE in the last one. So hopefully that bodes a little bit better for them. Bit of a messy ball out there for Chris Smith, who's gone a bit of a run himself, bringing in Josh Tambwe. Josh Tambwe steps aside, but is well wrapped up, and they're trying to bring him out, but he does manage to stay inside, just inside. I'm not quite sure how he's managed to do it, but it's good work from the wing there. Now, while Steenkamp is first carry of the day, going to Albert Lowe. He'll have many more to make as Albert Lowe. Oh, but there's a turnover ball here. Trula there across the side, and you know, it's almost every single time. Every single time, it almost looks like there's a bit of a break. There's turnover balls. So there's a knock on there from Trula now. Kurt Lawrence launches the kick in behind. Very nice position there by Fafa to read the kick. He kicks it inside. That's a bit of a strange kick. Kurt Lawrence going down the middle. Bit of a kicking battle here. Now Antonio Rizzi. That's a nice touch finder. There we go. A lot of time there from Rizzi, and he manages to find a clearance right towards the halfway line. And this is the big thing for ZEBRE. You got to play in the right areas. You know, you've managed. I mean, it's 13 minutes gone so far. I haven't put my clock back on, but it's 13 minutes gone so far. Bulls have had a break, but they had the try chalked off. And you just got to hang in there. You got to hang in there and let yourself settle into the game, because the longer you play and the longer it takes for them to score, the more you sort of start with all that own belief within yourself that you actually deserve. And there we go. Force a mistake. Mbrosa Pierre with the knock on there. And ZEBRE managing to pick up the ball and find a bit of space there. So they pass the 5 meter. Advantage over there from the knock on as they run the hands. They skip Erich Kanuya to Leofi. And toss the pass, which didn't go to hand and runs out. So it'll be a Bulls line out towards the 10 meter line. Pity, you should have just... I would have liked Lofi just to take contact there, you know. It's the first time they really had much sort of attack with, and to then, you know, throw a skip pass and then to try and throw another pass, which was a bit of 50-50. I'm speaking of the man here, trying to find a bit of a 50-22. Now go straight down the middle to Chris Smith. Chris Smith now will look for a decent touch finder, and he finds it's a very good touch finder. That's gone from the 22 to just past the ZEBRE 10 meter line. So very much a tactical game so far. We've seen a lot of tactical kicking. Not too many phases. I mean, I don't think we've seen more than 5 phases before kick so far this game. So it has been quite tactical. Very much about where you sort of play the game and which sort of areas you want to try and play the games in. And you can almost, I mean, you could have guessed that from the Bulls. You know, you're talking about a team which uses their set piece to very good effect, and they'll try and put ZEBRE set piece underneath there. So Razi, that's almost a very nice piece of play from him. He was very awake to the fact that the ball had gone straight over, so he bounced on it and put in a little grab in for him to chase, but it had drifted forward from the line out, so they're going back for the scrum. So just not very fluid at the moment as a game. We've seen a lot of stop-starts. I mean, this could be 9, 10 scrum of no, not quite, but maybe 5th scrum of the game so far in the 15 minutes. So messy, I think, is how I would describe the game so far, but scoreless at the moment. So, yeah, but ZEBRE just need to sort of stick to their basics. And it's frustrating then, you know, your lineouts have got to be quite good. You've got to try and make sure your set pieces are reliable. So your lineout has to be reliable. Your scrums have to be reliable. Because if you can't manage those, then you're going to be chasing a game for a long time. Another reset scrum. Vic says the Lions travel quite well, so I'm saying the Lions will win. Yeah, I don't see it. That Leinster side is so strong. No, look, I mean, maybe. For me, I just want to see a couple of tries. I want to see us be able to be competitive, you know. Albert Lowe picking up the scrum and going towards the right-hand side there. Now back inside to Johan Grobbelaar. He loves his carrying. Mbrosa Pierre, now quick ball to Marcel Garcia. This is much better for the Bulls. They move into their 4th phase. That's really good from Corner Hendricks. He's brought off the shoulder of Mbrosa Pierre. He's eventually brought down, but he's within 5 meters. Mbrosa Pierre needs to keep calm. That's a really good tackle as well, putting the ball under pressure and a turnover ball. That is brilliant defense there from ZEBRE. We need to go back and see who makes the tackle on Ambrose Pierre, because that's what creates what is a very poor pass over the top. And ZEBRE was very quick to the threat, jumping on and managed to turn over ball. So it's really good scramble defense. It's a fantastic line being run by Cornwall Hendricks off the left shoulder of Ambrose Pierre. But once again, ZEBRE just managed to disrupt things. They have one possession here. And now they need a good clearance. Violi finds touch. And it'll be by the 10-meter line. That's well defended, actually. There's a couple of good phases there. Looked a lot more promising there from the Bulls. Now we're going to get some attention here, so the time is currently off. And time is back on. Ironically, we talk about the fact that the Lions travel well. The Bulls this season have not traveled particularly well. The Bulls have actually been pretty disappointing the entire season, if we're going to be brutally honest about it there. But it's a good line. Oscar still getting to Harold Forster. Solid tackle on him. Now going towards the left-hand side. Ono Buerta. Big hit from him and from Mbanda. Off the foot there, almost a knock on there. Ono Buerta. Oh, that's a huge carry. He ran straight over Violi, who's not particularly happy. I think he's taken a big hit to the shoulder there. And a penalty for ZEBRE for holding on as well. That's a brilliant turnover. I think it's the number 7 there. Bianchi. That's a very important turnover. Again, this is what I'm saying. This is what ZEBRE are doing so well. Every single time the Bulls look threatening, they're just creating something. And they straight over the ball, gets himself in a really strong position, does Bianchi, and just waits for the contact. So, back to the 10-meter line. This time it'll be a line for ZEBRE. Time over, then we've got a blood replacement here. Chaps, that is not Jake White. I think that the TV director's lost the plot here. They've been focusing on one of the Bulls coaches, which is definitely not Jake White. And then, yes, then just put the... I think it's Albert Lowe getting a bit of running repairs. Right, we're running more here from ZEBRE. Decent line. Let's get my clock back on. It's gone quite lateral, but now it's sort of starting to break off here from ZEBRE. So still got hands on the ball here. Now it's all starting to fall apart. It'll be good to use it. And Violi does. His kick gets charged down. Oh, that's a fantastic piece of... That's going to be a penalty as well, I think, as well. That's a fantastic piece of athleticism there from the wing. The youngster, Trotter there, who leapt up ridiculously high in the air to reclaim that. They're going to have a look at this. The 21-year-old does brilliantly. He goes up. Master Garcia is also in the air. Yeah, TMO check. It's actually come off the head of his own players, Violi. problem is Marcel Coetzee has gone into the air and he's not in a position to take it, and he kind of pulls out when he realizes he can't take it, but he's in the middle of the air, so how does he land here though? He gets incredibly high here, does the shot. Doesn't land badly, which might save Marcel Coetzee. His hands up immediately. He realized that he had made an error. It's going to be at least a penalty. Probably looking at a yellow card here. I don't think we'll see red. Because, I mean, it's foul play, so they'll start on a red and they'll work their way down. It sounds like he actually might not even get a yellow card, to be honest, which I wouldn't mind actually seeing. We need to see kind of more of that. I mean, you don't want to see too many yellow cards. It just kind of ruins the flow of the game, doesn't it? Yellow card. Looks like a yellow card from Marcel Coetzee. This could be a big moment in the game. Right, yellow card against 6 blue. So Marcel Coetzee will disappear to the bin. We can get that up already because we know it's happening. Yeah, unfortunately, the letter of the law, you can't complain about that too much because, you know, at the end of the day, the way the law works, especially these days, is, you know, he's in a much, well, number 14 is in a dominant position to catch the ball. Marcel Coetzee isn't. He then takes his eye off the ball, turns his way, so it's his responsibility if you go up, in theory, to bring the player down safely, which he doesn't do. So that's why he's gone to the bin. So a big opportunity now for ZEBRE. They've got themselves to the 22, and they've won the line as well. Rolling Moore, however, is not moving particularly quickly at the moment. Now starting a little bit of momentum, but not too much. The captain, Oliviero Fabiani, just controlling things at the back. It's very lateral. They haven't found too much forward momentum. The call will come to use it. But now they sort of peel off. Jacques Van Rooyen's been told to use it as well. Now they've got a bit of momentum here to ZEBRE. Now Violi breaks on the side. Ruzzy spots a bit of side. Oh, he comes inside, but Josh Tumway and Ruzzy is over. Antonio Rizzi is over. What a little step they completely did, Madosh Tumway. Against the run of play, I don't think they've been inside the Bulls 22 this game yet. The first trip they get, Rizzi's over, and ZEBRE are on the scoreboard. What a moment. It was it was pretty well done at them all, because I was saying they probably should have used it, but they remained patient. They eventually managed to sort of reconstruct it. They managed to sort of shift the contact. And then as it was all starting to come together, Violi breaks towards the right, offloads to his fly half. He's calling for it. He's saying, I've got the space. He's saying, boom. And then he lines up. Madosh Tumway's, I don't know why Madosh Tumway's cycling so far to the left. There's another man there. But just completely wrong foot. Some steps inside him. Bang. Thank you very much. See you next week. And right underneath the poles as well. So it'll be a given kick as well. That's really well worked by ZEBRE. And they've deserved that just because they've done really well to stay in the game. They haven't had a lot of possession. They haven't had a lot of opportunity. But they've just stayed in the game for as long as they can. Waited their opportunity. And when they got it, they've taken it. And the Bulls have had far more opportunities but haven't been able to finish them. Whereas ZEBRE have taken it with both hands and finished well. So credit to them. This is what I'm talking about, the set piece as well. The set piece was so good there. The line was good. The maul was well structured. And that gives you the opportunity to then have a bit of a dip. Newman says, Bulls couldn't finish their dinner, literally. This is the only SA team that really got dominated by the Northern teams last time was the Bulls. Yeah, I didn't travel well at all. So, 25 minutes into the game. Marcel Coetzee off still for quite a while. ZEBRE up front. If they can get another try or some more points while Marcel Coetzee is off, then you never know. Scoreboard pressure can do a lot of things to a team. Carried bad. That's a big mistake from Violi. The call was carried back and he's kicked into touch. So all of a sudden he's gifted the Bulls a line out inside the 22. of ZEBRE, so they're immediately under pressure. So I'll take that from Ronald here. The ball's gone straight down. Legally so from the looks of it. No, it's still up. Jan Koblov breaks, gives it across to Harold Forster, who then straightens. He's well wrapped up. A couple of ZEBRE players competing for the ball. And Bosa Pierre gives away to Ruan Nokia. Pops it up to Jacques Van Rooyen. It's a good continuity from the Bulls. Bosa Pierre going out to the right. Oh, and they forced a knock on. That's good work. That's a really, really good read there from Tuivasa, because there was a couple of men overlap there for the Bulls. So he rushes up to try and make a big hit. And in doing so, forces, I think it was a bit of a quick pass there, or one of those sort of, almost like a tap pass, where you sort of just push it across. And they forced a knock on, so it'll be ZEBRE ball. And this is what they've done so well so far in these opening 26 minutes, is they've just managed to create that small moment to force a mistake from the Bulls every single time. The Bulls have been inside the 22 4 or 5 times. And looked pretty promising, but just when it comes down to that last moment, ZEBRE just keep managing to find a moment to just disrupt things. Decent scrum there. But that's a really good tackle on the 8th man. There's Lechata picks it up. Now back to Rizzy, the try scorer. Needs to find a good touch finder. Not terrible, not the best. It's just outside the 22, so it's a slight reprieve, but they still under a lot of pressure here, ZEBRE. Bulls trying to slow things down, as you'd imagine, with them having a man in the bin. Right, what could the Bulls conjure up here? Johan Kobbelaar goes to Alwick Low. Gerald Forster slightly behind him, so it wasn't getting much momentum, but a couple of players helping him drag through there. Penalty advantage as well for the Bulls, so they need to make sure this is count. Rizzy was up quickly for the interception, but I think it's a new advantage right in front of the poles as well. Pick up and go from Arno Buerta. Jan Kobbelaar just getting away from the charter there. Now Bosa Pierre running off his right shoulder. Big tackle on him. Bosa Pierre, a couple of numbers outside. Madosh Tambwe sucked in. Violi's gone early. Gives it to Harold Forster. Bosa Pierre coming inside. Nice tackle on Jacques Van Rooyen there. Now Arno Buerta running into a bit of traffic there. So far it's good defense from ZEBRE, but there is still a penalty advantage, of course. Good continuity here from the Bulls though. Lots of phases here. Pick up and go from Gerard Steenekamp. There's an infringement there, so they're going to go back for the offside penalty. So not bad defense from ZEBRE. Just managed to. And if they get, look, I mean, 3 points here. If the Bulls do take it, will be a really good net result for ZEBRE. And they will go for points. So as a net result from the Bulls, to be under all that pressure, I mean, for ZEBRE to be under all that pressure and just come away with 3 points, they'll still have a 4-point lead, and they'll have an opportunity to kick deep into Bulls territory. I think they'll be very happy with that 3 points. Chris Smith right in front. Makes no mistake, as you expect. Bulls finally get some points on the board after 28 minutes. But it is Zebra who still lead 7 points to 3 as we approach the last 10 minutes of the first half. Number 9, so Violi's actually off for an HIA. So yeah, adjust my time quickly for that replacement there. So the time is going to be, let me just wait for it to come up. As Palazzani comes on for Violi. Decent take there from Albert Low. Doesn't manage to get outside the 22 though, so they still have the safety 22. Do Bulls. Bryce Pierre going for a touch. He's been really good at doing that lately. It's something I noticed against the Lions. His box kicking has been so on point lately. It's almost like every single kickoff, you'll kick deep, the Bulls will take it, they'll crash it up, and then Ambrose Pierre puts them back on the halfway line. And to be able to have that exit almost every single time is such a big asset because you just know that after the restart, you're going to be back to the halfway line to try and compete for a line-out. And there we go. You compete for the line out there, and it's been won. Ruan Nokia knocking it back, and then Walt Steenkamp doing the rest. Now trying to run it though. Now Push shifting to Aronsa. Now to Cornel Hendricks, got a bit of space down the wing. Erich Cornier managed to make the first hit. He comes back inside, does Cornel Hendricks. Maxime Mbanda had a bit of a go at it. But Bulls have managed to retain it, have they? Now Zebra conceding it a penalty there. Yeah, beyond the ball is the call at the ruck. Right, Marcel Garcia is back on the field, so Bulls back to a full contingent. It looks like Tuivak has actually gone off, by the way. Which means I think that Besejny will be on. That's a really good kick from Chris Smith as well. Bulls all of a sudden on the 5 meter with a full contingent. They go to Ruan Nokia. Big counter shot coming in from Zebra as they try and push the Bulls towards the right hand side. They are pushed forward, but I think Johan Krobel is going to stay in. There he has, and they are over, and they have scored. As you expect, Johan Krobel, the man who's got the try. Zebra were desperately trying to push them out, but unfortunately the Bulls were going right and forward at the same time. So he just manages to remain patient, goes over under the corner. The Bulls will take a 1-point lead with the kick to come. And unfortunately, you got to feel like this was coming. It's a very good early. I see, almost managed to push it offside, and he just manages to get down. So it almost worked for Zebra, but just not managing to get repel the Bulls. Chris Smith, that is a brilliant. That's a very good kick there from Chris Smith. Banner reading Leinster. It shouldn't have. Let me go check that. I didn't schedule it earlier, so let me just make sure that it's all correct. It isn't correct. No, it is correct. No, that's the Lions one later. Where are we at here, people? Yeah, I don't know which banner is reading Leinster. I don't know. Oh, there it is. How's that happened? I'm with you now. How has anybody? Nobody brought that up. Got the wrong scorecard up. I can fix that in 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds, here, people. Rizzy back in the pocket there, returning the favour. A couple of kicks coming in from either side. Got straight down the throat of Kurt Lawrence, who was going on a run. You don't want to give him too much space. Still going. Eventually gets up to the 10-metre line. Alright, that should be fixed. I don't know why that's not changing. Couple of pick and goes here from the Bulls. And Ambrose appears off. That's all Kurt Lawrence. That is all Kurt Lawrence, and the Bulls are back over. And this is the problem, you know. As soon as the game gets a little bit open, something like Kurt Lawrence and Ambrose appear, you don't want to give them space to play, because as soon as they have a little bit of space, they'll take it. And unfortunately, ZEBRE have been competitive for the first 30 minutes. Wheels have come off for the last few. They conceded a penalty. Master Garcia came back on, immediately scored a try, and they're back over for the second try of the match. All of a sudden, 15 points to 7, and the Bulls will be a lot more happy with what they're seeing now. It's Kurt Lawrence. You see, he missed one tackle there. Just wait. Gives you awful lot away. Actually, probably could have gone himself, you know. But into Papier, the kick goes over as well. Yeah, you don't want to give Kurt Lawrence space. Right, the scoreboard has been fixed. Apologies for that. Not quite sure how that even managed to happen, but anyway. That's for the next game. We'll be live after this for the Lions versus Leinster, which I don't think is going to go particularly well, but yeah, we dare to dream. We dare to dream. Deep restart there. In fact, it's been turned over, actually. That's really good work there from ZEBRE. Oh, he managed to hold on. They've tried to go to the quickly, and Mitchell couldn't hang on. If he did, he would have had a bit of space ahead of him. Would have been done well to score, but that's a fantastic chase, though. To be able to turn the ball over there. It will be a Bulls lineup, but they're suddenly inside 22, so it's a defensive lineout, so an opportunity now for ZEBRE to try and put them under a bit of pressure. Chris Smith under a bit of pressure there. That's not the best clearance you'll see. In fact, has he got outside 22? Just outside 22. So an interesting opportunity now for ZEBRE to try and hit back. What do you think about Grant Williams getting a 4-match ban and then staying getting a 3-match ban? No, I said on Twitter, oh no, they completely stuffed that one up. Horrible timing there, and they conceded a short-term free kick from that. I don't agree with that sanction at all. I cannot understand how Grant Williams, which for me was a rugby collision, gets 4 weeks, and Monde, which was a late tackle to the head, swinging arm, high level of force, gets 3 weeks. I don't understand it. Because, and Liafi just knocking it forward there. Dazn giving it to Rizzy, who has to kick on his left foot under a lot of pressure. Not a bad kick under pressure, there it was. But I mean, I just don't understand it, because Grant Williams was a freak accident, you know. He'd gone for a ball and all tackle, and he collided with his head, you know. He led with his head in theory because most people you lead with your head when you go into that situation. But it was head-on-head collision. So letter of the law, it's probably a red, but for me, it's a rugby collision. I think it wasn't intentional, it wasn't dirty, it wasn't good line win there from ZEBRE as they managed to turn over. Whereas I think as Morne Staines was intentional. There was no other possible result for that. He went in for a late tackle on Lekanya arm, he swung his arm and he hit his head, and it was late. So for me, there's absolutely no mitigation whatsoever with Morne Staines, whereas Grant Williams, I think, is just an unfortunate piece of timing as Marcel Coetzee wins a very good penalty on the ground there. So I can't understand it at all. If I was the Sharks, I'd be feeling very hard done by the fact that Morne Staines gotten away with. Yeah, that's just not particularly good rucking there from ZEBRE. As Marcel Coetzee is allowed to get over a couple of players, get his hands all over that ball and win a penalty as we enter the last 2 minutes of the game. Time Tennis says Italy have many great things, but cameramen are not one of them. Yeah, reductions left a little bit to be desired. Sean O'Farrell saying that's been ZEBRE's problem, bad defense and a lot of ill discipline. Yeah, I think the discipline hasn't. I mean, it's been frustrating this game. I wouldn't say it's been horrendous so far. I'd say just discipline maybe in turn. Oh no, Cornel Hendricks found some space, and again there now penalty advantage for offside. I think is the call. So Bulls with 40 seconds to play to try and get a third try, get them one try within the bonus point territory. We have Nkabala, a couple of pick up and goes here from the Bulls. He's got Anna Burta next to him. Backs up early penalty advantage as the call. They'll go back for the penalty. So yeah, discipline now starting to keep it an issue for ZEBRE, and they're going to have a chat with the with captain. I don't think we're going to see a card yet. I think it'll be a harsh to see a card now. Okay, time is off. Let's have a word. And when he comes back, we'll have 10 seconds to see if Bulls can try and find another try. Pick up and go as they become accustomed to. They come within a few meters. Inches away from the try line, quite literally. Pick up and go again. Ball's available in the back there for, I think it's Marcel Coetzee. Does he manage to get grounding? Number 5 straight down over the top. Penalty to ZEBRE. They will survive. Bruno Kia's gone straight over the top. There's the call. They tapped it, they kicked it out, and we'll have half time. So half time over in Palmer, it is 7 points to 17. And I'd say a half of two halves because whilst Bulls have dominated the 40 overall, definitely, I thought ZEBRE did very well to hang in there in the early stages, and they weathered quite a big storm before managed to hit back themselves, do a nice little line out, and then a good move from Rizzi. But Bulls, I mean, it was only a matter of time. As their accuracy started to get better, then suddenly the try started to creep in. A good try for Moore, then a nice little moment then Curtly Orense and Ambrose Pierce, some good interplay for the second try. And at half-time, there is a 10-point advantage. Bulls haven't been clinical enough. They could have probably already had a bonus point try, but they haven't been clinical enough. Let's see what they can do in the second half. We'll be back in a few minutes. Please don't go away. Please do smash a like on the video and smash a like on and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the jungle. What song actually? Who are these guys? I'll work out the Bulls bench there. Anyway, welcome back to Bulls versus ZEBRE, where the Bulls currently lead 17 points to 7 after the first 40. They were playing left to right and growing into the game, very much growing into the game. I thought ZEBRE did quite well initially to try and repel the early attacks, but it's now kind of becoming that sort of inevitability where the Bulls are starting to apply the squeeze. They're starting to look a bit more clinical. And look, I think if ZEBRE strike first, then maybe we've got a bit of a game on our hand. But I think if Bulls were to score first... Oh, and as I said, Tuivaki's got straight to the middle and he's pushed down. He's gotten the ball away as well. Well played from the wing there. Showing his class. Now back to Rizzy. He's already got a try to his name. And the conversion, he's scored all the points for ZEBRE so far. Goes straight down the throat of his opposite number, Chris Smith. Chris Smith going to run, gives it away to Curly Orenser, who is brought down on the halfway line. Okay, being brought down. Now Chris Smith going high. Up and under there for... Oh, it's gone fallen in. It's fallen to Tuivaki, who's then thrown to the ground by Lionel Apu. But they have managed to maintain it, have ZEBRE. Voli, by the way, is back on. Obviously passes HIA and he's back in playing there. Goes to the box kick. Oh, and Hurley Orenser has spilled that forward kick. Horrible moment there. That will knock on there, so it'll be a scrum for ZEBRE. Not a particularly good moment there for Curly Orenser. Nobody around him as well, so it should have been a very easy collection, but just spills it forward. Now, Curly Orenser's got to be taking that. Diaz Bulls over 32.5. Listen, I have one rule when it comes to the channel, and that is I will never give betting advice because I'm just the worst bettor in the world. So don't ask me because I'll just lose you money. Yeah, actually, I don't know which way this game's going to go. You think that the Bulls are going to start putting a lot of pressure on, start running in the tries as the game goes on, but you never know. You know, it's quite a spirited ZEBRE side who have got a penalty advantage from the scrum as they break towards the right and they go back for the penalty. That's what I'm saying. You know. However, this is not looking good for ZEBRE because there was a decent pick and go there from Giovanni Lachata, but he stayed down and doesn't look particularly happy. And Violi's not particularly happy, and I can understand why, because they've sent him back on after his HIA, and it's just substituted now 3 minutes later, so it's a bit weird. So, Palazzani is back on. And he will see out the game in the number 9 jersey. Well, in the number 21 jersey, but in the number 9 position, if we're getting specific. Yeah, shame. This does not look good. Carter's evening is over as he limps off. Injury issue with his knee. So you'd imagine that it is the number 20. Oh, come on, Luca Adriani. And just not what ZEBRE need at the moment, because yeah, this could be quite a long spell on the sidelines there from the Carter. That's a very nice kick though from Rizzy, and he's managed to put the ZEBRE just by the 5-meter line. So rolling more. Give it a try. 17 points to 14. We could be moving here, people. We could be moving here. Oh, the ball's gone down. That's a bit of a messy line up there. And I think we're going to go back for the scrum, which I think will be a Bulls. No, it'll be a Zebra put in. On the knock on there, a bit of a messy line out, but it'll be another opportunity for Zebra to attack. There's some very high shorts on display here today. Referee is definitely part of that high short brigade. Bob Skinstad not realizing that Zebra has to put into the line out. It will be a Zebra feed. So an opportunity here for them to break off the back of the scrum. They just need to get a nice solid platform here. You've got Tuivaki on the blind side, which is imagine where you're going to go. You've got Ambrose Sapir opposite him as well as Cornel Hendricks. So Cornel Hendricks versus Tuivaki could be a nice battle, but you know, when you've got somebody of Tuivaki's class, you want to use him. You want to use him. So I'm sure that this is going to be blindside. That's a big scrum there from Bulls and the penalty, and that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem. You can have the best rig in the world ready for a breakdown the blind side, but if you don't have a scrum that can recycle the ball and get it available to scrum off, it makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. And that's a very big clutch scrum from the Bulls. They've come straight through the middle of the Zebra scrum. They've won a penalty, and they've missed out on what was two very good attacking opportunities. And the Bulls have managed to kick themselves up towards the halfway line, and they'll have the feed to the line out and get themselves out of a bit of trouble. It could have been a big moment, I think, because if Zebra could score there, game on, really. Game on. Oh, that's a bit of a penalty for taking on the air, which is frustrating from Zebra because he had actually dropped it as he came down. So that's where the discipline now starts to creep in. So that's I win total points over 48. Not a bad shot. What are we sitting at now? 24, hey? If the Bulls finish their opportunities, I think it'll definitely climb to that high. They haven't been particularly clinical until now. But that's another great kick from Chris Smith, and Bulls are suddenly inside. This is the thing, they've got 22 to 22. So Zebra had two attacking opportunities, didn't make them count. The Bulls won a penalty from the scrum, won a penalty from the line. All of a sudden, they're inside the 22, and they're going to have their opportunity now to try and score some points. That's a very good line-out, though, from Zebra, who managed to steal it from the Bulls. This is what I'm saying. Both sides, I suppose, guilty of not being able to take their chances. Back to Rizzy. He needs to find a nice clearance. He does find touch. Not his best clearance, though. It's only just outside 22, so still a very promising position here for the Bulls. Boblog going to Alvin Low. Off the top there, Ambrose Pierre now going to Chris Smith. Chris Smith going to Madosh Thomas coming off his wing, who then passes to absolutely nobody, and Tuivaka. Oh, and he hands off answer as well with purpose. Eventually brought down as the gold medal winner. But it's a good turnover ball there from Zebra. We counter-back coming in from Bulls. But Padazani will eventually have a bit of time to try and put in a box kick, I'd imagine, or he's going to go to Rizzy. Now he goes to the box kick himself. Pumps it down in the middle of the park. Chris Smith is underneath it. He's got Madosh Tumwe outside. He does go Madosh Tumwe. It's a very good defensive read there from Erich Cornier. We haven't seen much from him. Now the ball going out wide to Ono Burto. He gives it to Marcel Garcia as captain. Rosa Pierre back inside to Ruan Nokia. Looking down the blind side was Bruce Pierre. Then he decides to go back towards the bigger part of the field. Chris Smith going to Forster, to Mapu. Chips it ahead for Orense, but it's well read by Tuivaka. Hardly involved so far as the Fijian wing. Now Rizzy spots that there's nobody home. Can't get enough onto the kick though. Madosh Tamwe comfortably underneath it. Gives it inside to Chris Smith. Chris Smith will put his own kick in. And it'll set up just for Rizzy. And in fact it won't. It'll roll a bit slightly behind him. So he'll have a bit less time than he would have wanted. In fact, he's going to go himself. Gives it outside to the youngster, Troller. And eventually does manage to find touch. It has been very interesting, actually, the young wing. I've been very impressed with him so far. I think he's probably been impressed with the most out of all the ZEBRE players. I mean, you expect something like a Tuivaka to be quite solid, but check out Trula, youngster, 21 years old, been full of energy. He's the one that got Master got CS sent off. Chased down the kickoffs quite well. The Bulls will have a line up now between the 5 meter, between the 5 meter and between the 10 meter and the halfway line. On the far side of the field. And Bulls are just trying to literally straight to ZEBRE. The lineouts have been atrocious so far in this first half on both sides. I mean, if you look at turnover ball, I reckon these sides have both conceded 15 to 20 turnovers across the game. It's been pretty sloppy. Now the kite coming in from Dazn. Madosh Tamwe underneath it, under a little bit of pressure. Well taken from him. Burst Pierre goes to Marcel Gutierrez, a bit lateral. Big tackle needed, and a big tackle does come from Bianchi. Chris Smith now was caught in the ball. Does get caught in the ball a little bit. But eventually he actually managed to break the tackle. Now Kurt Lawrence there. Now here comes the counter attack. Is anyone going to stop him? Is anyone going to stop him? He's coming inside. Tuivaka comes in. That smashes Orense. And then a forward pass. No, not a forward pass to Ruan Nokia. ZEBRE scrambling. Might have to go back and check that, you know. I thought it looked forward in real time. Jan Krabbelaar. Bulls. Well in the 22 now. To Marcel Coetzee. This is where they've come undone so far with the Bulls. When they've managed to get into these areas and not been able to make ZEBRE pay. So patience needed here from the Bulls. As Ambrose Pierre digs it out and gives it to Jacques van Rooyen, who just pretty much just takes a knee, just takes the contact and goes down, presents the ball. Ambrose Pierre now looking for options, gives it to Gerard Steering. No, in fact, I think he gave it to Albert Lowe. Now it goes to Chris Smith. His numbers out wide. Chris Smith goes himself. Good tackle there by Palazani. Curtly Orense. Big hit from him by Liofi. That's good defense there, ZEBRE. They've driven Bulls back a few meters. Now Jacques van Rooyen, there's a bit of a gap between him, but you'd need a large dash if he's going to try and take it. Now to Jan Krabbelaar. Eduardo Bala just sort of grabs him and goes down. Ruan Nokia. Gerard Steenekamp. Can't get it down, but they're within 1 meter of the try line. Bulls right in the red zone now. Ambrose Pierre looking for options. Goes to Marcel Coetzee. Short is the call. Ambrose Pierre was celebrating. And eventually it's been awarded. But I would like to go back and look at that first pass from that last pass from Curtly Orense. I think that was a forward pass. I think that Bulls might have gotten away with one. And this is what the captain wants to go have a look at. Olivier Fabiani is speaking to the referee, and I'm sure he's saying that pass from Orense to Ruan Nokia all the way back in the beginning of this play was potentially forward. He's been sent back, so they're not going to have a look, but I would like to have a look. I thought it looked a little bit forward. Nevertheless, the try stands. Chris Smith will have an opportunity now to add the extras, and that kind of feels like the third or fourth nail in the coffin. I wouldn't say the final nail necessarily, because we are only 52 minutes in, but 24 points to 7, it looks a little bit ominous for ZEBRE, who I don't think have been terrible, because they've disrupted the Bulls quite a lot. They just defensively have been let down by a couple of poor moments. Soft moments as well. You know, this all stemmed from one missed tackle. It was Chris Smith who they'd made the hit, they managed to grab him, and then have just let go. And all of a sudden, he's burst through, he's giving it away to Curtly Orense. Then they're in the 22, and ZEBRE was defensively all right for a moment, but you know, just the more the Bulls attack, the more they kind of just... Yeah, I see eventually the grounding comes in. Big carry from the series, short on the boot, and then eventually manages to push it over. And Chris Smith adding that extra, so 7 points to 24. Just under half an hour still to go. Another nice chase there from Chula. I'm impressed with him. Couple of silver. Oh, that's a nice line run there. Beating hard at the breakdown. Where's ZEBRE? Ambrose Pierre. I thought he was about to try and milk a penalty, but doesn't, so I appreciate him for that, because I'm also getting a bit too comfortable doing that. Christmas got a big angle to work with, and he'll find a very nice touch finally. He'll put the balls back inside ZEBRE territory. His clearance kicking has been very good today, actually, as Chris Smith. I think his decision-making at times has been a little bit poor. Sometimes gone himself, sometimes maybe hasn't made the best pass, but his kicking today has been very good. Couple of subs here. And I think if I was trying to work what happens. So ZEBRE have retained the ball from the line, but there are a few subs on for ZEBRE, including the likes of Luca Biji, very experienced hookup. Oh, pick up and go there. It was almost very clever there done by Liam Mitchell, finding a few yards. Good chef from ZEBRE. I think it's Truda down the wing as well. Ball comes back inside. Good take. Oh, no, he's dropped it on forward. Unfortunately, the first contribution from Nikolai is a knock-on, and then a penalty as well. That's the frustration, is it's gone down. It will be a knock-on with your scrum, but then you're playing the ball again, and suddenly a knock-on, a scrum becomes a penalty. Not the best pass, must be said. Under a lot of pressure was Pelazani, so kind of sold Nikolai down the river. But Enrico Lucien is on as well. So most of the ZEBRE bench being unloaded into the centres there. I think he replaced Tim O'Malley, if I'm not mistaken. But this is what the Bulls now need. You know, another set piece. They're inside 22. Looks like Robert Hunt and Bismarck du Plessis about to come on. I think there was some Bio Mantanzima leading down as well. So they're just shy of 22, looking for that bonus point try. Score should have been over 30 points plus to the Bulls. Yeah, no, they haven't been clinical enough. They've dominated the game, territory-wise, possession-wise, opportunity-wise, but they haven't managed to make it count. And a certain amount of that has to be credited to ZEBRE. They have managed to disrupt the Bulls at times. But unfortunately, defensively, first of all, Bulls are such a big side that they can't physically keep up. There's another penalty to ZEBRE. And defensively, the one-on-one tackling sometimes has just let them down. Sean Farrell saying ZEBRE always have good moments, but against physical, powerful sides, they can't handle it. Yeah, I think ZEBRE are a frustrating side, because I think you watch them and you think, miss the side that hasn't won a game this season. But you watch them and you sit there thinking, there's almost something there. There's always something that you can sit there and be like, yeah, maybe. It must be said that they're almost the international players, and that will obviously help a lot. But I think a lot of it just comes down to just not being quite good enough, not being able to make those one-on-one tackles, not being able to be clinical enough. There's definitely something there, they've had some good moments, but overall it haven't been good enough, as the Bulls find themselves on the 5 meter, 1 try away from the bonus point, and that's exactly what Jake White would have wanted to come over to Palmer, have a bit of a holiday, as I say that, and then you miss a jumper. Ooh, was that carried over? Well, that's a bit of a mistake there from ZEBRE, so Rizzi puts it down. It actually came off a ZEBRE hand, so it will be a Bulls scrum. But again, there, line out on the 5 meter, it should be the perfect opportunity to attack, and they missed their jumper. So Bulls have not been particularly good. They've been quite sloppy, and I think a better team would make them pay for it. I think that's just a good steal, to be honest. I wouldn't say they missed the jumper, but the ZEBRE managed to get in front of them and just win it. So Bulls are playing a better side. They lose this game. I think the Bulls have been flat. I think the scoreline flatters the Bulls, because I don't think they'd be good enough to be basically about to score a bonus point try. Low breaking off the top there. Had to stand strong to a couple of players. Rizzi was one of them. Comes just short. Mercy Pierre goes to Ruan Nokia. A couple of pick up and goes here, and this is where you really think ZEBRE just can't compete from the physicality aside. Yeah, another pick up and go on a Buerta. Is he over? Is there grounding? There is. You see, that's what I'm saying. They just can't do it. I think it's Steenkamp actually in there. No, it's on a Buerta. I was correct the first time. The Bulls back are over. They've got their bonus point. It's a couple of pick up and goes. It's bullying time when they can't get things right, when things aren't quite going for them. They're not managing to make all their moves come off. They just sort of go back to the default. And we saw pick up and goes. We've seen tap and goes, and it's just the physicality that the Italians just can't match. You know, Arno Burt with Ruan Nokia behind them. Unfortunately, there's only one result, and that is a try. Stephen Free says, as a Bulls supporter, not convinced by our signings, Miskaland Sharks should dominate in the next couple of years. I must admit, the Bulls, for me, went from being a very dangerous, very impressive squad to suddenly not looking as impressive. And it's funny how a couple of departures have just changed the whole dynamic, because I think that Trevor Nyakane has been a massive loss. Because the Bulls don't have a tight head at the moment. They're literally playing Jacques Van Nooyen, who is a loose head, at tight head. And then bring on Robert Hunt, who was definitely not supposed to be elevated to this level so quickly. So I don't think that was the plan. I think they're missing a tight head. They obviously now got two fly halves down. Johan Goosen is unfortunately doing a Johan Goosen where he plays well and then gets injured. And they've lost Dwayne Vermeulen and Nizam Carr, and potentially could be losing Arno Burt. So all of a sudden, that loose trio, which was stupidly good in terms of the amount of depth, isn't as good as it was. You know, we're now going to be, who's going to fill that Arno Burt spot? There are a couple of youngsters coming through, but not superstars. Good take there from ZEBRE from the restart. Well, from the kick from the restart. I mean, I think Bulls still have some terrific players. I think the lock combination is great. Harold Forster and Lionel Pooh have been good in the centres, but probably, I think you could do better. I mean, Lionel Pooh is coming from like 3rd division French rugby. Better continuity this from ZEBRE. Kyle Brink, Simon was frustrated to see that's a horrible knock on there. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the star quality is quite there for the Bulls at the moment. When you run on the field, you've got Trevor Nyakane, when Lizo Walker is playing like he is, you could be having almost a box front row. When, if you have Marcel Coetzee, Dwayne Vermeulen, and Arno Burt with Albert Lowe coming off the bench, I think that's a whole different dynamic. If Boris appeared to Johan Goosen, Morne Steyn, that's, as I said, it's a whole different dynamic. I think Cornel Hendricks, for me, is being wasted out in the wing. Put him back at inside centre. I think Cornel Hendricks is a much better inside centre than Harold Forster is. And Harold Forster's had some good games. He's a good player. I watched a lot of him at the Lions, but I think that Cornel Hendricks has been the best inside centre in the country for the last 2 years. So I think that's a waste. Right, the next says, well, if the Bulls can beat ZEBRE, the Lions can beat ZEBRE, the Bulls will definitely beat ZEBRE. I think the Lions played a lot better when they played against ZEBRE. They did allow ZEBRE to come back into the game through a really poor second half. Well, that's perfect from Chris Smith, who's managed to pinpoint a kick into the 22. I thought it would have gone out in the full, but it looks like he's managed the timing brilliantly. Right, now Vendetti coming on for Livelsa. But yeah, I would say, especially in that first half, the Lions blew ZEBRE away very, very, very quickly. They started like a house on fire. I think we were like 21, 25-0 up after like 30 minutes. It was ridiculous. We then, unfortunately, did leave... suddenly we did leave a couple points out there. But... yeah, I think the Lions were a lot more clinical than the Bulls have been. Oh, that's so easy. That is so easy. Lionel Mapu is over. The cockerel is out. But that is shocking. Shocking from ZEBRE. I mean, that could have been touch rugby. It could have been tag rugby. I don't even know if they saw him there. I mean, literally off the back of the line out, one pass, and he's just burst through the middle. There's nobody near him. I mean, look, where's the space here? There's just absolutely nobody. There's a lot of Bulls players there, and the ZEBRE defensive line is in pieces, and Lionel Mapu has burst through there. No one's even gotten anywhere near him. It's hard to defend that, because that is shambolic. That is Lions Curry Cup standards of defense. It was so poor. Yeah, and then Chris Smith with the extra. And yeah, so I would say for 50 minutes, ZEBRE have been a lot better than 38 points to 7, but these last couple of minutes, it's all starting to fall apart. And if this continues, it can suddenly become quite a big scoreline. But Bulls have become more clinical. their visits to 22 are now resulting in things. You know, they had a lost lineup, but they managed to win the scrum off the back. A couple of pick-up and goes, they're over. Won a penalty, kick to, well, fit to 22, Bismarck du Plessis, straight to that hands, bang, down the middle, over they go. So far more clinical in the last few minutes here. The ball's been. Swanepoel is on in place of Steenkamp. Sean Faust says Benetton have always been the strongest of the Italian sides. Well, I think Bulls fans know too well how much better Benetton are than ZEBRE. I mean, I think I was counting. I think I counted about 12 Benetton players in the Italian side for Sunday. So you got to feel sorry for them tomorrow playing on the Sharks without all those internationals. When you think the Sharks are packing like 8 World Cup winners. Decent scrum there. Lionel Puna on the outside. He's got 2 options. He's got Forster on the inside. He's got Josh Tumway, but he doesn't need any of them. Oh my goodness, he's sent 2 players fly. That's a great run by Lionel Poo. It's a bit more confrontational. That's kind of what we saw him at the lines. We had a knack with the way his body position. He always managed to pack a bit of a punch. Now ball's inside the 22. Marcel Coetzee bringing the ball down to ground. So I apologize. I think it's Albert Low. Everyone's got their head strapped today. Mbosa Pierre now to St. Pierre Mantanzima. Bismarck du Plessis almost sort of stop. Gives it away to Mbosa Pierre. Swanepoel takes it down. Ball's at 22. Can they make this count? Mbosa Pierre now going to Marcel. I think that was Marcel Coetzee. Quick ball here. Now it goes to Lionel Poo. Made the initial break. Now to Chris Smith. Chris Smith in a lot of traffic. Needs to decide what he needs to do. Gives it away to Arno Botha. Arno Botha eventually get brought down, but the ZEBRE defense at the moment is very unorganized. Big tackle there, Mantanzima. Oh, that's a horrible offload there from Marcel Coetzee, and it's a knock-on. So, what was looking promising, but it is looking better. The Bulls are now starting to run quite a few Steve, you're doing an amazing job, man. Hopefully that'll keep on going. Thank you, appreciate that. Scotty Scott says you don't seem to have anything good to say about the Bulls. A lot of criticism. No, I just think that we've held the Bulls to a very high standard over the last few years because they have been the best side since the break. You know, after that lockdown in 2020, post lockdown, the Bulls have been untouchable. They have been a cut above the rest, and nobody's becoming anywhere near them. But tonight, I don't think they played well. I think, you know, if we go look at some stats here, I think you'll look at the amount of knock-ons, you look at the amount of turnovers. They haven't been clinical. As you said, somebody was saying, I think back in about the first half, they should have had over 30 points, and they should have had over 30 points because they've had all the opportunities, but they haven't taken them. How many knock-ons have we seen in crucial moments? You know, defensively they've been fine, but ZEBRE haven't had much of the ball to worry about that. But if we're looking at some of the stats, you know, the Bulls have conceded 15 turnovers. That's very uncharacteristic. If we look at lineouts, they've lost 4 lineouts. So I just don't think that they've been clinical tonight. So I wouldn't say. I mean, we know how good the Bulls can be, and it's difficult to say that a team that scored 38 points hasn't played well. But I think if you're a Bulls fan right now, you'd probably agree that they've not played particularly well tonight. They haven't needed to, which is fine. They've got a bonus point, so they've got what they've needed. But we have seen far better performances from this Bulls side. And I think if you're all being very honest, the Bulls have been quite disappointing so far in the URC altogether. From dominating, going to the Rainbow Cup final. The penalty there from ZEBRE at scrum time, so they'll be able to kick this out. And now, as Nonan's saying, you know, the Bulls haven't been great in the competition. We thought they were going to be our shining light. And Sharks, but I think Sharks are always going to take a while for them to really click. But we thought that the Bulls were going to be the South African side that was going to go and show these teams that were going to be in the top half of the table. And only now, with this bonus point victory, will they move comfortably into the top 10. If I go look at the table and try and see where they're going to move up to now, because they will move up. They've left it late. They haven't played particularly well. They lost to the Sharks. There was that loss against the Stormers. So for all of for how well they've played over the last few years, they have been quite disappointing. They're currently sitting in 12th. This win will take them up to 9th, tied with Benetton. So I think that's probably why there's been criticism for the Bulls, because they haven't quite pitched up this competition. This is a really nice little break here from ZEBRE. And it's difficult to know exactly what's going on with the Bulls, because the personnel hasn't really changed that much. And some people are saying the argument, oh, well, they were playing against the South African sides who weren't very strong. And yet the other South African sides and the Stormers and the Sharks have performed better than the Bulls. So you can't use that argument. This is a bit of a pointless kick there from Zeb, and all of a sudden the Bulls are attacking. Cornel Hendricks makes a good run now. Ulrich Low, good pass out the side there. Kurtley Arendse. You're not going to stop inside, outside. It's too good. He's too good. You don't give him space like that. 1-on-1 with Kurtley Arendse. I will bet my house, my dog, my anything that he will manage to beat the defender. And he skips around him and he goes over. But poor from ZEBRE. You can't kick that ball over the top and just gift possession back needlessly, and say, you know what, guys, have a crack at us. Because at a crack they did. It came from Cornel Hendricks. You drew in a lot of defenders with this run. Ulrich Low, nice little pass at the back, taking Tuivaki out, and it's up against Rizzy, inside, outside. Cheers. Over he goes. That's really well done by Kurtley Arendse. And if the Bulls had been this clinical from the get-go, this would have been a quicker score. We could have been looking at 80, 90 points. And hopefully this is the kickstart that they need, because that, as I said, we've known what the Bulls can bring, but they haven't brought it off enough so far. Now 43 points. They've been a lot better the last 10, 15 minutes, a lot more clinical. And now they're starting to run in the tries at will, really. I mean, Rizzy, for all that I think he's been all right today. Got apps. I mean, I don't know how his ankles are doing, but he definitely will not be wanting to watch these highlights. United says, rest in peace, ZEBRE number 10. Yeah, no shame. You got absolutely done. Walter says, very powerful team, great for the league. It is great for the league when they start playing properly, because at the moment they're sitting down in 12th, above the Scarlets, Lions, Dragons, and Parma, and behind Cardiff, Sharks, Benetton, and Stormers. So we need to see more of the Bulls the last 10 minutes, not even of the entire game, the last 10 minutes. Right, now the youngsters coming on. Keegan Johannes has replaced Ambrose Sapir. We also might get an opportunity to see Jean Mostert, the 21-year-old. Worth noting that they'll actually go level with Benetton and Stormers. So if Stormers and Benetton were to lose tomorrow, and they both could, depending on the points difference, then Bulls could actually find themselves a little bit higher on the table. Stormers up against Connacht, Sharks up against Benetton. That's a better carry there from ZEBRE. Kanan Moody now, the youngster, on for Bulls as well. Trula has been a bit of a lone soldier in this game so far. He's not had much to work with, but when he has an opportunity, he's definitely impressed. But all the way back on the 22 now, ZEBRE. Got a run for that 22. It's brave. Could be classified as stupid, but Erich Cornier now. South African born centre getting on the outside of Harold Forster. Does manage to hold on, but he managed to evade a few people and get up to the halfway line. That's a nice carry from him. Much better continuity this from ZEBRE. We need to see more of this, actually. I see, again, decent play, looking a bit better, and then a needless grubber in behind and Bulls turn over possession. I mean, why? Why do that? Why do you need to do that? They forced a knock on here, though. As Liam Mitchell showing a bit of his pace, getting a few yards there, getting ZEBRE up into Bulls territory. All the way back to Rizzy, not too much on for him. Runs towards his forwards to find some support. Bounces off the tackle from Keegan Johannes. Erich Cornier, pick up and go to Mitchell, who I think thought about the kick. And that's come off the boot, so it will be a line-up for Bulls. I don't think they've got an option on the scrum, because I think he dropped it onto his boot, which then went out. And time is off. Come people, let's hurry this up. The main event's coming up. The Lions will be taking on Leinster. Sorry, the Lions will be upsetting Leinster in T minus half an hour. 30 minutes, 29 minutes until the Lions travel all the way to the RDS Arena to get a dub. Huge dub incoming. Jordan Henderson masterclass. Morning van den Berg's going to be a live wire. Q and Horn's going to be like the next best thing. You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first. There it is, John Mostert. So, a lot of youngsters now on the park for Bulls, and what a pleasure to be able to be in that position where 45 points to 7 up. Well, what do? Let's chuck the youngsters on. Let's see how they play. No pressure on them whatsoever. Also saying, from an Irish perspective, I can't wait to see the SATs get rolling in the coming years. Yeah, I think there's a lot to come from 3 of them. I think when the Lions start taking themselves seriously, let me know, because at the moment I'm fuming with my union because they are just, yeah. But, I mean, Stormers are looking good despite a lot of exodus. The Sharks are, I think, starting to click. They've got the squad to compete. It's just whether they can all put it together. And Bulls, I'm interested to see what Bulls will do signings-wise, because lost a couple of big players. I mean, if they lose Arno Buerta, that means they've lost Dwayne Vermeulen, Arno Buerta, and Trevor Nyakani in the space of a couple of months. Just some big names. So interesting to see what they do then in the off-season. Stormers potentially getting Luat Diaga. It's a big signing there. It's a big scrum here from Bulls. Keegan Johannes keeping that ball in as long as he can, and then gets caught on it, but there's a penalty advantage anyway, so the Bulls will be able to kick this down. That'll be Jean Mostert's first contribution. It was Mbanda, the one who jumped on Keegan Johannes, but there was already a big penalty advantage from a huge Bull scrum. And just for a change, Bismarck Duplessis has decided to get into a couple of people's faces because, you know, he's just never done that over his career. Sharks full strength versus Leinster full strength will be something. Yeah, especially when the Sharks get, like, I mean, next season, you know, and Sharks are going to have basically a Springbok in every department. They will actually have a Springbok in every department. Whether it be a prop, a hooker, a lock, a flank, a scrum half, a fly half, centres, wings, fullback, they do have, when Edsmith joins, they will have a Springbok in every single department. And they can name up to, like, I think it's like 14 internationally capped players in their starting 15. Well, the one on the blind side, yeah, the Bulls try to work a very smart move from Keegan Johannes and Cornel Hendricks, but Cornel Hendricks has stepped out. So it will be a ZEBRE line out. But what's really good to see, and this is what we were hoping to see immediately from the URC, is we've already seen so many players coming back and playing their rugby in South Africa. Jan Goossens obviously back, Morris Dane came back recently, Dwayne Vermeulen came back and then left, but Marcel Coetzee back, and we still will see some players go overseas. That's going to be inevitable, but we are starting to see big players coming back. Ibn Etzebeth coming back. We're talking about one of the best, if not the best lock in the world right now, coming back to South Africa. Luat Diaga coming back to South Africa. Rumours that Malcolm Marx, for example, will be coming back to South Africa. And that's kind of what we want to see. And that was the whole point of the URC. We are going to have an increase in our salary cap. But hopefully with this competition, we will start to see more players returning to South Africa, which will strengthen our size, make us more competitive. And hopefully in a couple of years' time, we'll be talking about South African teams doing quite well in more than just the URC. We'll hopefully see them. Another big penalty coming in from Marcel Coetzee. He's been very good tonight, actually. But we want to start seeing these teams doing well in the European Challenge Cup and the Champions Cup, taking on Montpellier and your Toulons and Toulouse and your Harlequins and your Saracens and all that. So exciting times to come, hopefully, from a South African rugby perspective. Right, here we go. Bulls, can they break the 50 points? Can they raise the bat? Can they get to that half century? Solid line up there. Inside the 22. Ball's been dropped, though, so it's a knock-on. Again, that's what I'm saying. As much as they scored 45 points, they could have scored a lot more if they were more clinical. Right, check comes. Line out there. Scrum. They broke it down the blind side jab, Zebre. Mardosh Tumway's come in and made a big tackle. Nice carry from Abriani. What can Zebre conjure up? Can they give us a last moment to watch? Bazani now goes to the boot. Should be compared to the wall, swirling around a little bit there, and forced to Keegan Johannes. I think no Kane and Moody, but knock on there, so it will be a Zebre scrum a little bit further up the pitch. Nanan says, I agree it'll be very beneficial for both national teams. Evan Etzebeth joined the Sharks, exciting news. Yeah, that's huge. Europe is a big step up, but takes teams quite a few attempts to get a good run in the competition. Yeah, I think it'll be a while before we challenge for it. But it'll just be nice to be in it, you know. I want to be able to go to Ellis Park and say, right, we'll have to go and watch, I don't know, you know, a Saracens, a Harlequins, a Toulon, you know, Blue, and anyone. Just, I mean, it's cool enough that we're going to be able to have Leinster at Ellis Park next season. So it just means you see more players. I personally don't actually miss Super Rugby at all. It's so much easier to consume this competition. The hours are a little bit better, even though we are going to be up until 11:30 today. On a Friday night, it's just such an easy product to consume compared to waking up at 5 in the morning to watch Super Rugby. They were trying to run out from deep inside their own half, but a big blue wall ahead of them. Ron O'Keefe desperately trying to rip that ball in the tackle. Mantanzima trying to turn that ball over. Has he? So eventually comes out from ZEBRE. He's kind of running out of ideas here, ZEBRE, as you would imagine at 78 minutes with not much to work with. Penalty for the Bulls right in front. Not that they'll take the 3 points, but holding on there. And that just sort of sums it up. ZEBRE in the second half haven't been able to compete at all. The breakdown's not been good enough. They haven't been inventive enough on the attack. Bulls defense it's been far too easy for them. You know, a couple of big tackles, and then they just bang. Once somebody gets over, win the penalty. I think Master is one of my 3 penalties this half alone. Get Curtly Lawrence into the box squad now. Yeah, I'm interested to see where Curtly Lawrence is going to settle position wise. I think did they kick that dead? What's going on here? Player of the match is it's all low. They spelled it LOW. I think that's something that needs to improve about this competition is the TV standards haven't been great. They get names wrong, they get spelling wrong, they get team sheets wrong far too often for my liking. So that needs to need to improve a lot. But yeah, so there was kicked dead. So this is ZEBRE scrum. Sean Farrell ZEBRE to me often fall off after 30 minutes. Yeah, I think it's every match. I suppose it happens a lot with these sort of teams as they win a penalty where you start all right, you're thinking cool, and then as soon as you can see two tries, your head kind of drops and it becomes a case of here we go again. Jean-Luc says, I hope Aria won't let the box join the Six Nations. It should stay the way it is now. Well, I think at the moment we've got the best of both worlds, don't we? We've got us playing club rugby in the north, but then we get to play the Southern Hemisphere sides in the Rugby Championship. So, yeah, I personally don't want to see us in the Six Nations. If it happens, we'll have to get over it, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, which is good. Decent line win there from ZEBRE, trying to get a rolling more going. They have actually found a few meters. Can as we go into extra time, can ZEBRE just cook up something? A little bit of a messy right there. I think Bulls have turned it over. It's gone backwards. Bulls have turned it over. Janko Swanepoel comes away with it. So will the Bulls go 50? Goes behind. Keeping it alive here is Jean Mostert. The young fly half. Very good turnover on the ground there. Does ZEBRE get the ball back? Wow, I mean, what's the point? Now, what's Corner Hedge going to do? The Hooter is gone. He kicks ahead. Turns the ball over to ZEBRE once again. I mean, just somebody kick this out, guys. I mean, it's 45 points to 7. Nothing's happening here. ZEBRE still with ball in hand inside 22. Can they get the last shot? Curtly Aronson picks it up and gets bundled into touch. That will be full time over in Palmer. Bulls 45 points to 7. A much better second half performance. ZEBRE had moments in the first half. They had moments, but unfortunately just couldn't compete across the 80 minutes. First time tackling is an issue. They did well to disrupt the Bulls when it came to set piece time, but at the end of the day, we're seeing a very big difference in quality, and that's the respect on the scoreline. We'll see you guys very soon. We'll be moving on to Lions versus Leinster in about 15 minutes time, so come and join me then. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll see you guys on the next stream in a few minutes. Thank you very much, and yeah.